So Russia hitting Ukraine's capital of Kyiv with the largest air attack of the war to date, using more than 800 drones, killing a mom and a 3-month-old child. President Trump responding by putting Russian President Vladimir Putin on notice.
Are you ready to move to the second phase of sanctions against Russia or punishing food?
Yes, but he's also going to talk to Putin this week. Here to weigh in is Fox News contributor and drone expert Brett Velikovich, who spent considerable time in Ukraine right in the thick of this war. Brett, how worried are you for Ukraine's sovereignty right now?
Well, Brian, look, this was not just Russia's biggest strike of the war. It was really Putin testing the world's resolve. You know, he struck Ukraine's government cabinet building for the first time in the latest attack, and that was very symbolic. So now Trump's sanctions need to be equally symbolic, and we need to make it much more painful, because the goal isn't punishment for punishment's sake. It's about forcing Putin to negotiate and end the war. Peace is only going to come through pressure, and sanctions right now are Trump's strongest lever, because clearly Russia's been getting more and more emboldened. The current geopolitical climate is such that Putin thinks he can get away with it. No one has really been there to check Russia before, and I think that slowly stops now, as it's clear the president has had enough of the bloodshed and the diplomatic stalemate that currently exists in these negotiations. The war needs to end. You know, right now, I think President Trump is the only one who can bring peace and fix this. Europe's leaders won't fix this. NATO won't fix this. Only he can, and we simply can't walk away from this conflict and turn a blind eye because innocent people are dying. If we do that, our enemies win. Putin is trying to outlast us right now, Brian, and every single day this war goes on, the world seems to be forgetting about the innocent people dying because the killing has become normalized. Attacks are getting bigger and bigger. Just this last week, you know, we had over 800 lethal drone strikes in and around the Capitol. More civilians are dying, but the news coverage has been getting less and less because, frankly, people are tired of hearing about it, and Russia is counting on Americans not caring about it anymore, so they can use leverage to take more and more land. And so my thoughts are, you know, President Trump is the only one who can remind Russia that when you test us, we won't put up with it and put an end to this.
And if anybody thinks it stops at Ukraine, or that dumb statement that people say, it's NATO's fault for expanding. A defensive organization expanding, it's their fault. NATO doesn't attack anyone. Now you know why you need a NATO. They're already moving in on the Moldova elections. And I hope it's not true that we're pulling troops out of the Baltics, because that's another bad message to send. Here's President Zelensky on over the weekend.
We all understand that we need additional pressure on Putin. We need pressure from the United States. The most power has White House, and I really count that President Trump will do it with pressure on Putin. And this is only one way how to stop the killer.
Right, and just take a look at the map. This is where the battle is. So we have $300 billion of frozen Russian funds in Belgium. It's time to get the $300 billion and give it to Zelensky and say, you now have Russian funds. Then it's the secondary sanctions on Turkey, Brazil, and China. Do it. What do we have to lose? They've already gotten together. Let's just make sure that this war ends and let them know they're going to be confronted wherever they are, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Brian. Look, sanctions are the right move to move the needle on this. We got to slowly tighten the screws on Russia, make their economy feel it in hopes that Putin's own people will put pressure on him to stop this. Every single dollar that Russia loses is a step closer towards peace. And we need to put Putin in a economic chokehold. Target sanctions that hit Russia where it hurts most. Oil, gas revenues, things that fund the war. You know, sanctions aren't just about numbers on a page. They hit the people who bankroll Putin's war. And by blocking Russian energy exports to key buyers, restricting insurance and shipping, Trump has a way now to force Moscow to feel the pinch immediately. And look, you know, in previous sanctions, for instance, on Iran, we were cutting off energy and finance pipelines, forced Tehran to negotiate. So Trump here, he can freeze the assets of Russian oligarchs, cut off access to global banking networks, make it really difficult for the elites to profit from this aggression and raise the cost of this war for him. And I think we also need to focus on a global coalition with this. Rally our allies to enforce these sanctions together in unison. Europe, NATO, partners in Asia. When everyone acts together, this pressure multiplies. And so every major power right now knows that when Trump applies sanctions, the pain is real. His credibility alone changes their behavior, and everyone else needs to fall in line with that and focus on putting maximum pressure on this in an effort to promote peace.
I give the president maximum credit for giving this guy an opportunity to take an off-ramp, because he's suffered extremely economically and over 1 million casualties. Got it. But at a certain point, we just have to realize pure strength is the only thing he understands, and pain, economic pain. Thanks so much, Brett. You're a guy that goes over and sees it firsthand. You're not reading in the paper, so that's another reason why you're valuable to have on. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.